Hello, good people, and shitty people as well. How's everybody doing? This is Dustin Coyle. You're listening to Intelligent Thoughts. We got the daily wager for Wednesday, April 26th, 2017. Shows are getting shorter and shorter now. Not a whole lot going on now. Just, two games pretty much per night for the next, I don't know, maybe month or so. And then I think it's really just one game a night after that. Maybe not even a month, maybe in like 2 weeks. It turns into like one game a night pretty much. So not a long episode or series of episodes coming up anytime soon. But we got a little bit to get out, so let's take it. Yesterday we did pretty well, if y'all remember. Pretty easy bets. Houston over Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City was winning early and in the third quarter too. They had a good run. Closed the third quarter with a 5-point lead. They actually led in every game of the series after the first quarter, but they lose the game last night. We make some dough. Pretty easy one there, I thought. Houston shot like 6 for 37 or some shit from downtown and still got the win. Russell Westbrook had like 47 points, 11 boards, 9 assists, something along those notes. 7 turnovers, including a couple at the end there. Went 2 for 10 or 2 for 11 in the fourth quarter. Russell did. Not his best performance there in the clutch. But we make a little bit of dollars off it, and kind of as expected. Who else did we bet on? San Antonio at home. They beat the Grizzlies, part of a big third quarter. Kawhi Leonard had like 28 points or some odd shit. Mike Conley had like 26 points and some change. Conley's sick, man. Conley's handles are like on some next level shit right now. He made like 3 or 4 really exceptional fucking like misdirection plays, hesitation plays. Super fucking impressive. Looking all John Wall like last night. Like a short, slower John Wall, but still like a bad motherfucker. Those teams have now played 9 times this season. The home team has won every single time. That trend, I do believe, is going to reverse in Game 6. But a good win there for San Antonio. It was like a minus 700 or something like that. So, I mean, I parlayed it with my Houston Rockets and got some good dough out of that. Obviously, went from like a 1 to 5 payout to like a 1 to 2.5 payouts or 1 to 2 payout. So that obviously worked out pretty well. And then laying off the Clippers Jazz game proved to be a pretty good idea. Jazz, kind of a back and forth game, but the Jazz end up playing really well late. And not too much of a back and forth game, but a little bit. In the third and fourth quarter, it seemed like it was going to be closer and closer, but the Jazz played really well. Joe Johnson hit some fucking clutch shots again in the fourth quarter, no surprise. Gordon Hayward plays great in the fourth quarter as well. I think he finished with like 28 points or something like that. Underdog pick, contemplated the underdog pick there, but just too tough to call. And then that was game 5. Now game 6, going back to Salt Lake, probably 2 or 3 days from now. That'll be an interesting one to watch as well. All right, and enough with the recap from yesterday. Let's get into today's shit. All right, in the first game. Somehow at 4 o'clock Mountain Time, maybe 3 o'clock Pacific Time. This is kind of ridiculous. On TNT, of all things as well. Definitely not the norm. We have, and even 6 o'clock local time. Atlanta at the Washington Wizards. Game 5, series tied 2-2. Let's take a look at the preview here. Washington didn't look fantastic the last 2 games in Atlanta. They looked pretty damn good in Washington. Nobody has been stepping up, basically, other than Beal and John Wall on Monday in Game 4. Beal had 32. Wall had 22 and 10 in playing 40 minutes. Really nobody else stepping up. They're shooting a playoff low for any team, 29.7% from downtown. Obviously, they were one of the best teams in the league this year. I think Otto Porter was like number 2 in the league, and they were one of the better three-point shooting teams. I think Bradley Beal's over 40%. So definitely that's got to change today. I do like them today. I think that they're the better team. Dennis Schrader's been tearing them a new asshole. And bench ports like Bazemore played well. Jose Calderon even played pretty well in Game 4, which is random as fuck. Ex-Laker there. Man, this is probably going to go 7 games, this series. And that would mean, let's take a look at the motherfucking spread. I obviously like Washington here at home. Washington is 6-point favorite. Money line, we are looking at a minus 255. I expected it to be closer than that, actually, just because of how good Atlanta's played in the fourth quarter, like in Game 4 and in Game 3. They both played really well in the fourth quarter. Atlanta played really well in both games in the fourth quarter. That pretty much proved to be the difference in the games. Both games they won pretty handedly at the end. Minus 255, though, I like that for the Wizards. I think that back home, obviously, I talk about it all the time, they're one of the best home teams in the league. And Atlanta's not a traditionally very good team. I don't think that they're a more talented roster than Washington. I think Washington's a better team. So I expect them to at least marginally right their wrongs. They only lost by 10, and they were tied in the fourth quarter by playing a pretty horrible game on Monday. So I expect Washington at home minus 255. I think that's a pretty good setup there. All right, and then the other game of the evening. We have, what is that? 5:30? What in the fuck? Hold on a second. Sorry about that. My NBA app was having some issues here. So, it's 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. I don't know if I have this wrong. BetOnline is telling me it's 7:30 Eastern. And that the other game is 5 Eastern. Oh, yeah, the other game is 5. Okay, yeah. Well, fuck, who knows? It's either 6:30 or 7:30. If it's on TNT, it's definitely not going to be at 5:30, so it's 6:30. Rondo's going to be out again, Game 5. Obviously dominated the first two games, broke his thumb. Let's see. Boston won back-to-back games in Chicago, recapturing the home court advantage. Jimmy Butler and Marcus Smart had some a little bit of a beef issue in Game 4. Both of them seriously scrapping at each other. Jimmy Butler wants Marcus Smart to give up the tough guy image. Marcus Smart says he's always been a tough guy, blah, 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 blah. That'll be interesting to see how they almost got in a fight, like really close. It'll be interesting to see how that goes down here in Game 5 back in Boston. I guess Rondo did get his cast off. He's just not ready to play today. He may be back for Game 6. Isaiah Canaan is going to make his first start of the season here at point guard in Game 5. He had 13 minutes in Game 4, or 13 points in 34 minutes in Game 4. And obviously Rondo seems to be like the key player in the series, whether in or out. I like Boston at home. I think that they're hot right now. Isaiah's finally getting back to normal a little bit. Obviously not fully, but it's starting to become more normal, I guess. He was cracking jokes a little bit and smiling a little bit. I think in the press game or the post game conference on Monday. And then at home, obviously, again, one of the better home teams. And with Rondo out, I'm not sure what they're going to do against him. Let's take a look at the spread. All righty, the Celts are an 8-point favorite at home. And that's going to translate to a minus 365 money line. Plus 305 for the Bulls. I'm surprised that that's that high, actually. I thought that maybe that would be like a 280, 300 range. Maybe even closer to where the Wizards are at right now. I definitely like the Celtics, though, at home. I do not think the Bulls are going to be able to beat them without Rondo, without having some kind of really crazy performance from like an unknown, like an Isaiah Canaan or something like that. Butler, unquestionably, is going to have to, score in the high 20s. Wade is unquestionably going to have to, score in the low 20s or high teens in order for them to win. But they're going to have to get somebody else to, either facilitate the offense very well the way that Rondo did or also get up into the 20-point range in order to get the win. I don't see that happening, really. It's just really have been gelling the last couple of games. I expect him to continue to do so. Go ahead and put a few bucks here on Boston minus 365. All right, I'm looking at some baseball. I don't know if anybody really likes baseball. Betting here that listens to me at least. The Chicago Cubs minus 153. They have Lester on the mound at the Pittsburgh Pirates with Glasnow on the mound. The Pirates this year have been one of the worst teams against lefties. Lester went 7 scoreless innings, like 2 weeks ago against them. Maybe not horrible. I don't know if I'm going to take the bet. It's not really that bad right there. I think the Cubs are pretty likely to win. Minus 153. It's always rough. Baseball is such a weird sport that, underdog betting is actually, somewhat better. But out of the one game I see there that might have some value is the Cubs there. All right, and it's going to take us to the end of the show. I hope everybody gets out, get your picks in. I got to put mine in right now. I'm coming back. Going to break down the UFC and Bellator from last weekend. Pretty good events there. Hope y'all interested. Coming back in a minute. I love you.